Peace, family. So today we're going to do a quick run through of the different aspects of a wedding, because a lot of y'all are saying that you're having a hard time getting people on the dance floor once the dance floor opens up, right? And I think the main problem is that you're waiting until the dance floor opens to really try to connect with the crowd. So you have the pre-ceremony, you have cocktail hour, you have your introductions, that period before the reception formally starts. You have that moment, then you have the introductions, then you have dinner, and then you have the open dance floor. So these are the different segments of the wedding day that you should prepare for musically. And it should set in the soundtrack for each part of these moments, each section. So for pre-ceremony, obviously you're going to use the guidance that your clients give you, your couples give you. But overall, you just want to set that ambiance. When people first walk in, the first thing they're going to notice outside of the flowers and the scenery for the ceremony, they're going to notice the music, because the music is going to be one of the first things they're greeted with. So make sure the music is on a good volume level. But beyond that, you want to make sure that the music is something that's cool, welcoming, inviting. It doesn't have to be upbeat and necessarily fun yet. It should be more romantic and set a nice little tone for the day. A little understated, but still cool and breezy. So people kind of get the environment, they get to look at the decor, and they get to prepare themselves for the wedding. I prefer instrumental music. Based on your demographics, you want to lean one way or the other way. For a lot of white couples, I'll use like some pop, some acoustic covers or some popular songs. You can go classical, but just lean towards whichever direction your couple already kind of tells you that they like, and just go that acoustic cover or instrumental versions of those songs. So what that automatically does is it shows the couple when they come in, they're like, all right, they got a nice little professional vibe going on, a nice mood that's set before the wedding is started. And then after the ceremony is over, the last song of the ceremony anyway should be an upbeat song. Once they say, oh, we present to you Mr. and Mrs. blah, 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 all right? At that moment, it should be like, pow, like fireworks. And it should be a nice upbeat mood. And that should be the first time they hear any kind of like upbeat kind of energy. And that's going to usher them into cocktail hour. So the first song of cocktail hour, I always like to keep that energy high, because it's going to take about maybe 5 minutes for everybody to go from the ceremony area over to the cocktail hour area. So when they're introduced into that cocktail hour area, what I like to do is have that energy high already. So again, based on the demographics, you pick whatever makes the most sense for your couple and for the crowd, and then have a mixture of high energy music and maybe some understated music as well, just for background purposes. But you don't want to have all background music the entire time, because then people kind of tune it all out, and then the music really doesn't matter. It's just kind of like super undertone, and you're not really making a statement, and you're not really communicating anything with the crowd at that point. So you want to have a mixture, as far as your playlist is concerned, of music that the older people would like, music that the younger people would like, and have it as a mixture of, energetic vibes, not dance floor ready vibes, but like some nice energetic mid-tempo maybe, some classics, some newer songs, things like that. I can help you with that more specifically. If you need that help, just reach out to me. I'll help you build that playlist. Secondly, what else would I want to say? All right, after the cocktail hour. Oh yeah, so even during cocktail hour, for that whole hour, make sure that it's a nice little up and down vibe. So if there's a song that plays slow, you don't want to play 2 slow songs back to back. But you can play 2 to 3 mid-tempo songs back to back to back. That's cool. But the overall idea is to make sure that the crowd is still engaged while they're having their drinks, cocktails, talking. They should be able to hear something in the back where they can want to bop their head a little bit, sing along if they want, and just really get that overall good energy going. That's the first time the energies are being picked up, so let that cocktail hour be fun. And so then you're going into the reception space. As they go into the reception space, that's up to you. Do you want to have a nice slow song going, now bringing the energy back down, but still nice and classy when they walk in? Or do you want to have a high energy? That's totally up to you and your style, preference, all of that good stuff. But I personally, I like to make that the first time that I'm actually mixing music, and I'm really setting that vibe before introductions even start. So what that does is it lets the guests know, like, oh, we got a real DJ here. And believe it or not, I can just give you my experience. People notice and they love it off the rip. They love it. They say, oh my God, you really mixing? Younger people might come over and try to give you daps. And be like, oh my God, oh, you doing your thing. We're going to party tonight, huh? And when they say stuff like that, oh, we're about to party, huh? It's already in their head that we're about to party. So right then and there, I don't have to worry about when the dance floor opens, are they going to dance? I'm already communicating with them. We're here to have fun. This is not going to be a typical wedding where we just play a random playlist, the same old stuff. You have a DJ here that's going to mix. I'm working, you know what I mean? And they appreciate it. So, nice energy going, whether it's slow, whether it's fast, I'm mixing regardless. And then I'm letting people know, the reception is about to start in about 5 minutes. Introductions are about to start in about 5 minutes. And we go through all the formalities, make sure introductions are high energy when you're bringing people in. And before we even start the introductions, I even like to test the energy of the room. So I have people make noise one way or another way. Let's I say, how y'all feeling this evening? They might be like, you come back in and you be like, nah, that's not it. This is a celebration, right? I said, how's everybody feeling this evening? Yada, 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 whatever way I want to say that. And then they be like, ah! So now the energy is where it needs to be. Now we set a new standard. Like, nah, we ain't here to just go through the motions. We're about to party. We're here to celebrate. We're here to have a great time. So now that gets everybody on the same page. We're in sync, in unison, right? And that's how we're going to move throughout the rest of the night, in unison. So, got the energy up. Have everybody stand up when it's time for the bride and groom to come in and making noise. They come in, do their formalities. And now, after that introduction period is over, hope you're taking notes, by the way. After the introduction part is over and we go into dinner, I usually like to start slow, with something that's classic or something that's just super beautiful. Even if it's a song that most people don't recognize, I still like to use something that has just a good feel. It's more about the emotions at that part. It's not really about the lyrics. Obviously, you don't want to play anything crazy, but it's more about the emotion and that feel right then and there, because then it sets the tone pretty much for dinner. And I like to, even if I'm mixing, keep it chill. If I have a black demographic and they say, okay, I want 90s R&B, that's the vibe I want. Or I see on their music request form, they have some stuff like, oh yeah, my grandparents or my parents like Luther Vandross, they like a little Marvin Gaye. I'm gonna mix some of that stuff in, but then I'm gonna mix it and I might come out of an old song. When I say old, maybe something from the 80s. I might come from the 80s and mix it into something that's from the 2010s. So that way you have the older guests and you have the younger guests. Now they're both tapping their feet, nodding their heads at the table while they're having conversations. And then I'll play something classic. I might go to Love and Happiness. And that's going to get older and younger at the same time, tapping their feet. Once again, everybody's in unison. If you get everybody singing during dinner, it's a wrap. And the key to this is how fast can you get them wrapped around your finger? Seriously, how quickly can you get them to a place where they're going to do whatever it is that you want them to do without you having to say a word? That's the goal. Once you can do that, You can go wherever you want and you control the energy. That's why I like to have them on the same page before dinner even starts. So the quicker you can do that, the better off you are. So moving past dinner, when it's time to open up the dance floor, excuse me, you really shouldn't even have to make an announcement at the end of the day. You can for the formalities, but people should really be running to the dance floor once dinner is over. Also, one thing before we move on to open dance floor, the last 15 minutes of dinner, I always start adding more energy. I don't do any more slow songs that last 10 to 15 minutes of dinner, because now it's time to transition. You don't just want to do wild transitions like you're just playing a bunch of slow music, then all of a sudden you're like, everybody run to the dance floor. It makes no sense. So the last 10 minutes of dinner, I might start playing some music that's more upbeat. And if I want something that's going to get everybody involved, I might do like a Maria. I don't do the same thing every time. I'm just thinking of something off the top of my head. I may say Santana, Maria, dun, 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 and then go from that to Wild Thoughts maybe. And just for an example, something that speed. So it gets people, really in a different kind of bounce at their table. And they know, we about to dance if they're not already dancing. So yeah, once you open the dance floor, at that point there's no more work for you to do. You shouldn't have to push people to come out and dance, because you've already prepped and primed them and they already know, all right, this is a party. I don't ever have to get on the microphone and say, all right, y'all, come on, let's make our way to the dance floor. The dance floor is open. Come on, y'all, don't be scared. Like, if I have to do that, I really haven't done my job. I've wasted a lot of time, because that means I don't have the people on my side. They're not like anticipating running to the dance floor. By the time it's open, they should be running to the dance floor. And I open up the dance floor with something that's probably like very popular, maybe a little cliche. I used to do line dances maybe like 6 years ago. I would open with a line dance, but that's so, I don't know. To me, it's like too cliche. And I like to be, a little more unique. So I'll pick something that's going to get the older and the younger guests on the dance floor. And the importance of that, you want to make sure you have the older people out there as early as possible, because your photographers, videographers are going to want to capture everybody on the dance floor together. Older guests might not stay to the end of the wedding. Even if they do stay, they may not have the endurance to dance all night. So you want to make sure that the couple has some pictures where they may have a grandparent on the dance floor and one of their friends from college on the dance floor together. So that's important that you think of things like that, because you're here to serve them and make sure that these memories, you're helping them create memories that will really last forever. So there's preparation, there's intention, purpose, like reasons why you're doing everything that you're doing. And at the end of the day, it's to serve them, not to say, hey, I'm the best DJ, I'm such and such. It's to serve them. And by serving them, it will just show how great of a DJ you are, because you're using the music to communicate and to make things happen as far as the energy goes. What else is there that I want to say? Yeah, so I focus on the older people, older people first. And sometimes they'll surprise you and they'll want to dance the entire night, but I don't do too much. I like to start keeping it moving. If you find out that the older people are really coming out on the dance floor, be like, all right, let's go to the 70s. Might do a little disco / funk set. Might get into, play that funky music. And you can go from that and switch it into something more poppy. Again, based on your crowd. You're always going to play to your crowd. But you can go switch it to something more poppy after you go, play that funky music. Got your ABBA dancing queens out the way. You can do like a Lizzo, About Damn Time. Just an idea of something that's a little more current, a little more recent. Some of those songs I kind of stay away from. They just been overdone, like Bruno Mars, Lizzo. But for the sake of this conversation, you can go into, it's about damn time. And from that, then you can go into some faster music that's like in the 120s and all of that kind of stuff. So getting the dance floor, very energetic. And as the night goes on, you can get into A lot of my clients, they like to get turned up. They like to be a little ratchet or whatever. So later on in the evening, we switch. Whether they want to go into some like emo alternative rock, they want to go into some trap, some other types of hip hop. They want to shake their ass. I don't know. All depends on every couple is different as far as what they want, what experience they want, and what type of guests they have. So you always have to be prepared to adapt, to switch, at a moment's notice. Because at the end of the day, there's no excuse for why the dance floor isn't still filled and packed at the end of the wedding. It's your job to read the room, be prepared to go wherever you need to go to get them that result. To get them that result at the end of the day. So at the end of the wedding reception. So yeah, that's it for right now. We can go deeper into certain things at another time. You can put something in the comments if it's something you want to go deeper into, or you can just reach out to me and we can set up a one-on-one call. I'll help you with anything DJ related, wedding DJ related to be specific. Yeah, I got you. All right, appreciate y'all. Peace.